Hi everyone! Today we're going to test out some new holiday products by Too Faced. I have the liquid lipstick set with the tiny melted liquid lipsticks. I have the large eyeshadow palette with the blushes, highlight and contour in it. And I have some other Too Faced products and just some things I really wanted to use today. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to start with the eyes and I'll zoom you in a little bit. I'm starting out with an eyeshadow primer by ABH. This palette looks beautiful. It doesn't have a mirror though, so that's a little bit annoying. No, that would be perfect. Why not? So this is the color story. You have this pink purple corner and then this more golden brown corner. I already did a look with the golden corner and I really liked it. So let's go more pink purple today and maybe do a hint of gold somewhere. This is not part of the holiday collection, but I also have these brushes from Too Faced. I've been eyeing these for a year probably. There are 5 brushes and I think they're just adorable. I'm starting out with this large fluffy brush. What shall we do? I think I'm going to start with the shade Sweet on Santa, right over there. I'm going to put this in the crease. This is a nice light mauvey shade. With the same brush, I'm going into a little bit deeper of a shade. I'm going into Christmas Sweater. This nice dark magenta. And I'm also building that up in the crease, but a little bit lower. Still with the fluffy brush. And I'm taking it a little bit out in a V shape. These eyeshadow palettes of the holiday editions of Too Faced are notorious for being a little bit worse than their other palettes, but so far I think they're pretty easy to use. I brought it up a little bit too far on one side. Well, this is going to be a very dramatic look. Now I'm switching brushes and I'm going to take my pencil brush. And with this brush I'm going into Mrs. Claus, which I believe is the darkest shade in the palette. And I'm going to build that in the outer crease and outer V. Now that that's laid down, I'm going to take the little bit larger brush and just, without any additional product, blend everything together. Now, what shall we do for the lid? I think we're going into Ballerina and Santa's Boots. This pinky shade over here and this purple shade down here. I think we're going to use those two and do some gold in the inner corner and maybe on the lower lash line. This part I'm taking the flat small shader brush, and I'm going to see if that's enough to build it up or if I'm going to use my finger. These are nice and creamy. Okay, that's not bad, but I still think I'm going to use my finger. Yes, that's a lot better. I'm taking it a little bit above the crease as well, really blending it out with the Santa Claus shade. Now with another finger I'm going to take Santa's boots and I'm going to put that a little bit in the outer corner. And then I take some more of Ballerina and I put it on the inside to overlap the purple. Really mixing them together on the edge. And with my original fluffy brush, I'm also blending out this dark purple shade into the crease and the outer corner. The camera really doesn't pick it up, but these shades are actually quite nice. Maybe we'll layer something on top when the face is done. Now, with a makeup wipe, I'm going to clean up under my eyes.
And make a sharp edge. There really isn't that much fallout. But still, with darker shades, this is always a wise thing to do.
Now let's work on the face. I have a couple of primers I want to use today, just to be a little bit extra. I have the Becca Under Eye Primer and the Becca Under Eye Corrector, and I'm going to use both because, as you can probably tell, I have some darkness underneath my eyes today. So I'm going to start with the Under Eye Primer, warm it up a little bit, and then put a small layer underneath the eye. This will prevent creasing throughout the day, which is important for a holiday event. There. Now for overall face primer, I'm using my Too Faced Hangover Primer because I'm planning to use a semi-matte foundation. And this one is very hydrating. While that soaks in a little bit, I'm taking the Under Eye Corrector from Becca in light to medium, and I'm going to correct any darkness on my face. You only need a little bit. I'm taking it underneath the eyes. And I also like to take a little bit on any really dark places where I have had blemishes. See how nice that works? I also have one here. It really brightens the whole area before you go in with your foundation. Now that my face is properly primed, I'm going to take my Ultra Le Teint foundation from Chanel. This is my new favorite. I only reviewed it a couple of weeks ago, but it made its way to the top of the list very quickly. I don't know if you have to shake it, but I always do just in case. I'm going to pump out 2 pumps on the back of my hand. And then I'm taking... where is it? And then I'm taking my foundation brush and I'm going to smear this on top of my face. I always start at the center of the cheeks because that's where I have the most discoloration and redness. And then I work my way down and a little bit up, and of course to the nose, and then I do the other side.
You have to get every little nook and cranny if you're doing this. So I'm taking my earrings so I can reach after my earlobes.
And with whatever is left, usually just a little bit, I do the forehead. For concealer, I'm going back to Too Faced, and I'm using the Born This Way multi-use sculpting concealer in the shade Cloud. This is the lightest shade they have, because I plan to sculpt my face a little bit. I'm putting it a little bit at the inside and outside underneath my eye, on both sides. And then I like to take a little bit on the tip of my nose and down the center of my nose, a little bit above the lip, a little bit on the chin, and then whatever is remaining I like to put just above my brows like that. And then I blend it out with a sponge. I'm using two setting powders. One very light and one a little bit darker. Under my eyes and in the center of my face, I'm using my Guerlain Meteorites pressed powder. This is very old, so it's a little bit disgusting. See, I hit pan on it. But this is a very light powder, which works very well for me to brighten a little bit wherever I just put the concealer. It's a very nice velvety soft powder. You can really see the difference. Sometimes I put this powder all over my face if my foundation is a little bit too dark. But that's not the case today, so we're going to take it a little easy. For the rest of my face, I like to use the Born This Way powder by Too Faced in the shade Translucent. I think this is Translucent Light. For me, it's actually a little bit too dark, underneath my eyes at least, so I like to use this to set the perimeters on my face. I put some in the cap. And now I take this large powder brush by NYX and set around my face. Now the base is done, let's finish up the eyes. There are some things I would like to do. I would love to use Frosty over there and put it on the inner part, but I think that using golden rings, the golden one would also be very nice. So what shall we do? I think I'm going to use Frosty on the upper inner part, then use golden rings on the under inner part, and then smoke that one out with a nice bronze shade, which will connect back to the purple. Shall we try it? Ah, Frosty has a golden sheen to it. So this is perfect. I'm really going to highlight this inner part. See how it opens up my eyes? I'm also putting this in the inner corner. And then a little bit underneath the tear duct. Now I'm switching to golden rings. And I'm putting that underneath the lower lash line. And I'm putting it pretty low because I feel like a festive look can use some gold. Because I went a little bit too far with it. So I'm going to take Let's Kringle, which is for me a flesh tone shade, and I'm going to take that underneath the eyes to blend out the gold a little bit. Yes, that's a lot better. Let's finish up the rest of the eyes. I'm going to use a couple of eyeliners. I have this Essence eyeliner in the shade Berry Fantastic, which is a sort of burgundy berry color, and I'm going to tight line with this. Now for the lower lash line, I want to use this golden eye pencil, which was part of the holiday collection by Dior. I'm going to put this on the waterline underneath the eye. Wow, that's pretty much the same color as the golden rings from Too Faced. And finally, to make it extra festive, I want to take a black liquid eyeliner and do a little wing on top. I'm using this one by Givenchy. And then to finish it up, I'm using this little sample of the Damn Girl mascara from Too Faced. And I was blown away by this mascara, really. Look how thick the wand is. But really, it builds up slowly, but it builds up like crazy. When I asked my boyfriend what he thought of this mascara, he asked if I was wearing false lashes. And I said no. And he said, well, then you don't need them, right? So this is one coat, and you can really see the separation. Now I'm doing the bottom lashes. There, do you see? I think this mascara is amazing. Now for eyebrows, I'm going to keep it simple. I'm just going to run some ABH Brow Wiz in taupe through the sparse areas of my brows, and then finish it up with some Dior Pump and Brow in blonde, and I'll be right back. There, eyebrows are on, and now let's contour the face a little bit. Just because I have this Cocoa contour palette and I love using it, so... And why not? I think for a party where your eyebrows and eyes are this bold, it really isn't too bad to sculpt the face a little bit. Also because we used a pretty heavy coverage foundation. So yeah, let's bring some life back into this face. I'm going to use this contour brush by Real Techniques, and I'm going into the light contour. I'm mainly focusing on the hollows of the cheek and the temples, but I also blend it out a little bit at the edge of the forehead and towards the mouth. Now I'm also taking a little bit underneath the nose to really make that button effect and the sides of the nose, and then I'm also taking a little bit at the bridge of the nose. Then I'm putting a little bit underneath the lip and a little bit underneath the chin. And behind the jaw. Carefully blending it down the neck a little bit. And there, I have some shape back. Now, for the remainder of the face products, I think we can stick to this palette. Because we have a Rudolph, which is a bronze. And then we have 2 blush shades and 1 highlighter shade. And we're just going to try them all out. I have this other brush from Real Techniques. This one slides up and down. Oh. This is very dark. Help! Oh, this is so much. It's so dark. Okay, well, it blends out. It blends out. It's fine. Well, lessons were learned. I hope. It is a nice color. I'm putting this one a little bit lower than the last one, and also a little bit higher on the cheeks to give that sun-kissed effect. I think I fixed it, but that was a lot. You saw that, right? Then with this nice mermaid brush, I'm going to use a blush, and I think I'm going into Pink Christmas, which is the matte pink. And I'm putting that in the middle of my cheek, and I'm blending upwards and downwards a little bit, or inwards. Oh, this is a very nice blush shade. And with my Anastasia brush, this one I use when I want a light highlight, I'm going in to Live It Up, and let's see what happens. Oh, it's nice. I was a little bit afraid it was going to be too dark and too stark. But it blends with the eyeshadow really nicely. I really like this highlight. I don't mean to sound that surprised, but you know, I bought it for the eyeshadow, not for the face products. But to find out that they both work pretty well, I'm pleasantly surprised. I'm also taking this down the bridge of the nose, the ball of the nose, a little bit on the cupid's bow, and a little bit on the chin. And then with whatever is remaining on the brush, I also do a little bit above the outside of the eyebrow. So not in the center of the forehead and also not on the outside, but right in between where there are little hollows in my face. And then I'm going in for a second layer on the cheeks. Just because this is a holiday look and I like to be beaming. Alright! So that worked out pretty nicely. Then all we have left is lips, and I have plenty to choose from. These were the 4 little minis that came in a pack. There's this super nude, this, wait, let me call out the real shade. Sugar cookie, hot toddy, candy cane, and caramel apple. So I think caramel apple is going to be too red based. I think it's going to be one of these 3. And you can really choose whatever you want. With this bold of an eye, a nude lip is very nice. But it is a holiday party probably, so... Should we do this one? This one. I think this one is going to clash with the eyes a little bit. So I'm going into Hot Toddy, which is kind of a mauvey shade. Oh, no, it's different. Yeah, it's different. Okay, I think it works, but it is a lot darker than I thought. It's really almost a maroon kind of color. Terracotta, maroon, something like that. Pretty, but dark. Still, I think it works. It has kind of a retro vibe now. And I'm kind of curious to see what this one would look like. I'm going to swatch it on my hand. Yeah, I think that would have worked out nicer. Let's see if we can put a little bit in the center. So this is my finished look using the new Too Faced products for holiday. And I like it. Do you like it as well? Leave me a comment or a like, or subscribe to my channel if you're new here. And I would love to have you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!